Can you see it yet? Look at that, guys. We're going to buy that airstrip very shortly for $200,000. This takeoff is going to be scary, guys. Yes! Yes, we've done it again. And right now we are flying directly over some of these icebergs. So you can just get an idea of the scale of these things. They are huge. Isn't that amazing, guys? What a sight this is. Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 20 of my Stormworks career mode let's play. I'm super excited today, guys, because finally we are going to go up to the Arctic in this episode. I've got the plane ready and I've made some upgrades to that, so I'm going to show you guys everything that I've done to it. And when we get up there, I'm going to buy the most expensive area on the map in the Arctic. And that place should cost around $200,000, but it's going to give us a big dock and a hangar with an airstrip as well. It's a big area of the map, and I can't wait to get up there and do that. I know we can afford it now. We should have about 50 grand spare afterwards. And from there, we should get some missions unlocking, which we can then do in the following episodes. And I'm super excited, guys. But just before we start, on the 24th of July, as some of you guys may know, the developers are going to announce the release date for the next massive update coming to this game. I can't wait for that. And so on the 24th of July, 8 PM BST, I am going to do a live stream over on Twitch. And we're going to go over all of the notes that the developers put in their post. And I'm going to actually, chat with you guys and we'll get some discussion going. And that should be a lot of fun. Please do join us over there on Twitch, 24th of July, 8 PM BST. And hopefully we'll see you guys there. But otherwise, guys, let's get straight into the video. Right then, so here we go. And the first change I've made here is the fuel. Okay, so we now have this large tank and a medium tank under the engine as well. Hopefully you can see that there. And that is going to enable us to get a lot further than before. Now, on my estimations, it should get us around 160 kilometers, okay? And hopefully the journey is going to be no more than 120 or 130, so it should give us a bit extra. But I've also done some testing, and I'm going to run up there on about 50% throttle, because that is going to extend our range a lot, okay? So we are going to be traveling, I can't remember, it's sort of between 50 and 70 knots. But it's going to enable us to get there safely, and that is the most important thing. Okay, so that is the first change. Now the second change is that I've just well, this is a basic one really, but I've added in backlights for these two dials here, which I forgot to do last time. As you'll see though, this is very important. I've got Arctic gear here, I've got a parachute behind me, and I've got diving gear as well. All of those things could come in very, very useful. So yeah, we definitely need those. Next change, I put a windscreen on here. That's not going to affect gameplay at all really, but I just thought as we're going into the Arctic, it's going to be freezing cold. We might as well deflect a bit of cold air off our face. Then down here I've got a heater, but that I think is it for the cockpit here. I've put a spotlight up here and I've got some surround lights as well. They're all white, which means they're just as bright as possible. And also I've got this one rear facing underneath the propeller there. So hopefully the lighting is going to be useful, because we are going to have to take off, guys, in the dark, okay? I'm taking off sort of just after midnight, because then we can ensure that we're actually going to get there in the daytime. And of course that means we can see where we're landing, and we can also navigate to the right location easily. Otherwise it would be very, very difficult. And of course in the Arctic we've got icebergs and other sorts of things. You've even got whales in the Arctic as well. We don't want to hit any of those guys when we're landing. So, lighting is going to be important. I could do a better job perhaps, but we have upgraded it at the very least. And this spotlight here is pretty powerful. And let's see how that goes. Now, back in the engine room, guys, I've also added a generator back here. That's a small one. It's not on a gearbox. It's directly out of the engine. And all it needs to do is just keep the batteries topped up. I mean, there's only two things that really concern me with power. And that is the heater down here, which does drain a bit of power. Hopefully the generator can counter that. And also just starting the engine itself is the other thing. So, once it's started, it's going to just be running the whole time. So that's no problem. It'll just charge up and it won't be an issue at all. But let's just hope the heater doesn't drain too much. We're not actually going to have to use the heater, all the time, only when we're up there. And even then, actually, you can sort of turn it on and off when you need it. So if we put our Arctic gear on before we leave, hopefully I'll remember that, you know, it's not going to be a massive issue. We don't have to have the heater just on constantly. But yeah, we'll just monitor it carefully, and I'm sure everything will be fine in that regard. But that is every upgrade I've done as far as I can remember, guys. That is everything done. Otherwise, it's the same as before when we came up to the Sawyer Isles. But as I say, now we're going to take off, guys, and go on our journey up to the Arctic. And we are going to have to take off in the night time. So, of course, I am going to record that for you guys. I wouldn't dream of not doing that. But it might be a bit dark, a bit tricky to see. Let's hope we don't crash. And, you know, it's not going to be easy to take off in the dark. That is for sure. Because, as you might remember from the previous episode, taking off of this plane is kind of a visual process. We do need to watch the plane, watch where the water is, watch the angles and things. So let's hope we don't crash and we can do it first time, and then we're going to make a 180 turn and head up north essentially. But with all that being said, guys, now it is time. Let's go. And here we are in the cockpit of the seaplane here. And first of all, let me make sure I've got my parachute on, and I think I've got it on already actually. Yeah, there we go. So the next thing to do is just show you guys I've got 890 litres of diesel now. That is a bit more than last time. And we are going to travel at around 50% throttle. However, to take off, we need maximum throttle here. So we're going to start the engine up at around 20% and then ramp it up when we're ready to go. And then here on the map, we're sort of facing this way. We might have to turn right a bit just to make sure that we don't, you know, crash into the ground as we're taking off. But hopefully there won't be any problems. So let's get started straight away here. And it'll be, if I just turn my flashlight off for a minute, we're going to get the instrument lights on. Number 2, there we go. We've got a spotlight, we've got some surround lights, and we'll turn them off, or we'll turn some of them off when we're in the air. But for now, taking off, let's leave them all on. Right, I'm going to turn the key then, guys. And this is it. Now, we are going to come back, of course. There are a few missions where, you know, we've got trains and things, and we have to come back down here. But for now, guys, we are actually going. We are leaving for the Arctic. The propeller is spinning, and I think the rudder's in the water. So I'm just going to try and turn right a bit. We're going to give it a bit more throttle here. And it is hard to see, but the rudder on the tail is working. We are actually turning left at the moment. There we go. We're turning right. That's what we need. Sorry if you guys can't see that, but at the moment we're sort of pointing at the headland here. And yep, we're just moving away from it now. This takeoff is going to be scary, guys. We're now pointing in between the mainland and Lighthouse Frantic as well. That's about perfect right there. Right, let's give it full power, guys. Oh, that's the wrong way. There we go. Right, I'm a bit nervous about this. Come on, that's full power. Right, hold up, hold up. Okay, guys, hopefully you can see this. We are now at full chat down the straight, and I'm going to release my fins at the tail here and then apply them back again. There we go, the tail's going to lift up. Come on, and we're off, guys. Yes, yes, we've done it again. A second takeoff. Perfect, guys. Okay, even in the pitch black. Right, let's check the map here. Now, straight away, I'm going to put a waypoint up there. And look, it's dawn already. We can just about see the sun rising. We've only just taken off, and already the sun is coming out. Now, there should be about an hour of sunlight, maybe a bit more than that. An hour of real-time sunlight, that is. So, here we go. We're facing right towards our waypoint now, and that waypoint is just at the north side of this island here, the Isles of Sawyer. So I don't know, guys. I guess we might as well go through the clouds a bit. We go up above the clouds, and I don't know if that's going to be any better for our speed, but we'll see anyway. I just want to put my waypoint around here at the moment. We're sort of going to go diagonally, and I'm going to reduce my throttle now to around 50%. We'll just monitor things to make sure that's okay, but it should be because I have tested it. There we go. We'll just edge towards our waypoint here. It is raining, of course. Even above the clouds it's raining, guys. That's Stormworks for you. But this is a glorious journey, this is. It's going to be amazing. And I just hope, as you can see on the dial in the top right of the screen, it's not quite morning yet. Well, it sort of is morning, as you can tell. But, you know, we're still in the nighttime side of that circle. So there should be plenty of sunlight ahead. And let's just check our speed here. Fuel is fine. RPS is 13.4. Temperature 78. That's quite warm, but it's going to be fine. And then over here we have 66 knots at the moment as we head towards our waypoint just north of the Sawyer Isles. And altitude is 1200 meters, guys. So for now, that's alright, isn't it? That's there's nothing to worry about there. I am a little bit nervous, of course, about the fuel and stuff. But if we just be really, really careful. Edge on the side, there we go, 72 knots there because we sort of leveled out a bit. And we're going to continue to monitor that waypoint, just make sure that it's sort of, you know, in the right place, basically. Now, on the map, we're going to uncover, hopefully, quite a nice path towards the Arctic. Now, if I'm going to estimate it right, let's try and estimate this. Let's put a waypoint up there. How far is that? Okay, now that waypoint might be beyond where we're actually going to. So what we're going to be doing when we get there is, well, I think the base we're trying to buy is on the sort of northwest side of the Arctic. Not the whole area, but I mean just the sort of main part that we're going to be based in, okay? So all of the bases that you can buy are based in the same sort of area, but ours is going to be in, I think, the top left part of that. And so when we get to the Arctic, there is going to still be a few kilometers to go, maybe between 10 and 30, to actually get to our base. But so far, so good, guys. This is fantastic. And if we do follow the train tracks, we can actually, you know, because these definitely go up to the Arctic, they will actually connect to bases that you can buy with train sheds in the Arctic. So let's just hope that that we're going in the right direction, but we'll try and keep track of those as we continue up here. They don't go in a straight line, as you may know. They sort of snake around a bit, but in general they go right up there. Let's turn off the lights now that we don't need. So that will be, let me see, have I got my bow connector on? Yep. So I don't even need that on. Let's turn that off. And then I can turn off number 3. And I can turn, that's the cockpit lights there. And number 1 as well. Brilliant. That's going to save a bit of battery power. And speaking of battery power, and look at my temperature, guys. I'm actually very, very cold at the moment. So I may have to put my Arctic gear on. In fact, that's partly because we're so high up. So do you know what? I might drop down a bit and I'm going to put my Arctic gear on. Okay, this is risky. No, that's my diving gear. There we go. That's the Arctic gear. Okay, now look, we're getting warmer. I was literally out of the seat for a minute. And yeah, that was a bit dodgy. The plane was going right. Anyway, we're back on track. Just keep an eye on the fuel. 764 litres remaining. 75 knots, guys. And the flatter we stay, the faster we're going to go, basically. It's exactly what we want. 121 kilometres. Now, it may not be that far. I'm going to estimate we're going to sort of reach the edge of the Arctic when we've travelled about 60 to 80 kilometres, okay? And then from there, we might have to do another 20 to 40 to get there. So I think 120 might be quite accurate, actually, overall. But luckily the sun is coming out, and we still have our nav lights on. I guess we'll leave them on for now. How's the battery doing, actually? Let's see, where is... Oh, there it is. Oh, full. Okay, the battery is full. That's perfect, guys. Nothing to worry about there. I mean, really, the only thing we need the battery for right now is the heater. That is what's going to drain a bit of power. But I'm not going to test out the heater right now. But hopefully, we'll be able to maintain battery and use it at the same time. Or at least, you know, if it does drop a bit, as long as it doesn't go below 80%, you know, we'll be fine, really. So I don't think that is a cause for concern. We are currently 1,300 meters now, a bit higher. So I'm not going to go, you know, too much higher than that, because we want to make sure we can see the train lines down south, or sorry, down below us. There's one there cutting across from right to left, and that's going to join on. Wait, was that a train track? I think so. Oh, maybe it isn't. But anyway, down here you can see that is going to go right up north. And where are we on the map at the moment? Okay, yeah, so this is the line that's going to cut across right to left. But that sort of joins back down here, I think. And then it'll go up north there. Now, we have $249,000. The island is going to cost us... Whoops. The island is going to cost us about, well, exactly 200,000 as far as I'm aware. And you know what, guys? I recently found out, and I'm not sure if it's because I was in creative mode, but I think in a recent update, the devs must have changed the map a bit, because if you now mouse over islands... Oh, yeah, it doesn't work. So in creative mode, you can mouse over an island that you've discovered, and it'll actually tell you on the map how much it costs. However, here, it doesn't seem to be doing that. Now, that might be because I haven't been to that particular island, or it might be just because we're in career mode. I'm not sure, but I haven't noticed that in creative before. But guys, so far this is going very well, and it's always pretty exciting for me when I see the first iceberg. We'll have to be perhaps a bit lower to see that. But is it snowing up here already? Oh my goodness, guys, check that out. I think it is snowing as well. I think it is. That is fantastic. I mean, as long as we're not cold, right? We are wet because we have no canopy. And as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, if you don't have a canopy, you can literally get wet. Your character does get wet, and that causes you to get cold quicker. But because of our Arctic gear, and, you know, I think it's going to be fine at the moment. But it's quite nice that we have those realistic features in the game, and I do believe in the next major update that's going to get even more realistic, so we're going to have to be even more careful about things. But yes, I don't have a gyro at the moment, so we are going to be moving around a bit. I'm literally doing everything manually here, which is fine, I don't mind that at all. And 1200 meters, that's good. 61 knots. Are we going straight here? Let's just try and get straight. There we go. Speed up a bit. So we are going to have to use our artificial horizon here, because you can't see the land or the water below you. It can be quite tricky. Get a good perspective on things. There we go. It's sort of horizontal now. Try and keep level. Get that speed up if we can. 63 knots. Fantastic. Bit of yaw to come right again. And that is how far we've gone already, guys. I'm not going to measure it right now, but it's, you know, it's a fair distance already. Okay, so my plan now, guys, is to bring you back in when something interesting happens, or when we kind of get near the edge of the Arctic, okay? So I'll see you back in a minute, and hopefully we'll be making good progress. Okay, and guys, can you see it yet? Look at that. There's an iceberg over there. In fact, there's several icebergs maybe, or one that's broken up. There might be another one behind it. That's the first one we've seen. And we have about 73 kilometers to go. Again, that may not be accurate. That might be further than we actually have to go. But that's just sort of a worst case scenario, I think. And look at this. We're going 57 knots at the moment. 44% throttle. And we have 595 litres of fuel left in the tank. So way over half, guys, and we are already at the edge of the Arctic. This is very exciting. Now, what you can find up here, if you're not familiar with this place yet, is whales, seals, and penguins as well. And they can be pretty hilarious sometimes. So we can look out for those. We may not see any from up this high, but I'm sure over the course of our time in the Arctic, we're going to see plenty of those things over here. But I can't believe it. We are now at the edge of the Arctic, continuing forwards. And as you can see down there, it looks pretty choppy at the moment. Here in this part of the ocean, the waves can get very big, guys. If you haven't been here before, as soon as you get sort of away from the starting area, the waves do get much bigger. So if you do want to have a bit of fun in the massive waves, you know where to go. But anyway, this is there's another one over there. Just over, where is it? I've lost it now. There's another one. And as we get closer, we'll see them in greater detail. We are currently 612 meters above sea level. And basically, the further you get towards the center of the Arctic, the more the more common it is to see an iceberg until you get them sort of really clustered together, and then that is where the main sort of land is, so to speak. And now we can see several guys in our view. So there's one just over here, and even more are coming into view right ahead of us, and just to the right hand side as well. There's another one faintly in the distance, guys. We're nearly there. We're almost, you know, I mean, 68 kilometers, and we're probably not going to have to go that far even. Isn't that a gorgeous view, guys, from up here? It's very different to down south. It is just incredible. And I hope that in the future the devs might add even more, what would you say, like biomes or, you know, stuff like that to the world here, so we can go south and find maybe some warmer climates as well. It'd be fantastic to have a good variety. But at least we have this for now. And those icebergs are enormous, guys. Now, some of them I think are more static, and I think, you know, the smaller ones are actually physics objects that you can move around. And one of the missions is to go and get some ice samples, I believe. So we might have to do that and actually pick up some icebergs and take them from A to B. But that'll be in the future when we get to that stage. Now, we could, if we wanted to, even land on these things, and I think there is even like a research base on an iceberg near where the main sort of land is. So that would be quite interesting to go and check out at some point. I'm sure some missions might have something to do with that. But as you can see now, they're getting closer and closer together. The clusters of icebergs are compacting, and finally, guys, we might get a sense of how far we need to go to get to our base. Now, it's nearly midday, but not quite, so I think we've made very good progress here, and I'm just really hoping that we're going to get there before, you know, before it goes dark. I think even if it's just dusk and it's getting a bit darker, that's okay, isn't it? But I just prefer to land, you know, in the light, because this thing, of course, is not difficult to land, but we want to make sure it's as easy as possible when we're doing a massive epic journey like this. And right now we are flying directly over some of these icebergs. You can just get an idea of the scale of these things. They are huge. And over there, look, on the corner, you can actually see one of the icebergs which is not static. That is moving around. You could basically take that home on your boat if you really wanted to. But that is probably quite large as well. There's another one just down here underneath us, the smaller ones there. But let's carry on, guys, and hopefully soon we're going to see some mainland. Right, guys, look at that. Now, there's a rock formation there. I don't know if that's the mainland. It might actually be that. But at the very least, we know we're getting closer now, because when you do get near the land, you get these sort of big rocks here, and they look a bit like volcanoes, some of them, like that one there. But I think it's probably a smaller island. However, we will find out in a minute. And this is getting exciting, guys. It's not far to go now. I think that is an island there. Unfortunately, it's not quite the mainland yet. But also, look, you can see all of these icebergs sort of clustering together. They're a bit closer together now. And things are getting interesting. And if you just see to the left of this this rock here, or this island, you can actually see the train tracks. That means we're getting really close, guys, and we're going in the right direction. That's going to snake left a bit and then carry on north, and it might come this way in a minute as well, because they never seem to go in a straight line, but it's approximately a straight line. And wow, that is a really cool island. I don't know if we're going to see any crates around here, but I probably won't stop for any on this particular journey, just because I want to make sure we get there in one piece. I would hate to fail it now, guys. But there is certainly the option to come here later with a helicopter and pick up, you know, some crates and see some animals and stuff like that. And as we get closer to this amazing island, it really does look like a volcano, doesn't it? I'm not sure if it's meant to be, but anyway, that's pretty cool. You can see, is that trees down there? It might be, or I don't really think there'd be any trees on there, but there's something down there, as you can see. Or they could just be rocks, of course. But over here, look, the train tracks, guys, are actually coming together into one line. Now that means we are getting seriously close. And just over there, guys, that might actually be the mainland there, right in front of us. I'm not exactly sure yet, so we will have to get closer to find out. But this is good, guys. We're almost there. We've made it to the Arctic. And if you look on the bottom right of the screen, you can now see that all of a sudden I am starting to get a bit colder, even though I'm wearing my Arctic gear. And that's because now we need to start thinking about using the heater as well, guys. So luckily, I do have the heater, and it is working. That is on number 6 on my keyboard. So let's hope, let's hope it's going to work and not going to drain our battery. But the battery is 100% charged at the moment. Temperatures of the engines are 70 degrees. We have over half a tank of fuel left, guys. Still, it's been perfect on fuel. Now, if I press number 6 here, I think it's number 6. Yep, there we go. The heater is on, and that's going to keep us nice and warm and toasty in the cockpit, even though we don't have a canopy. But what I'm going to do is actually keep an eye on the battery now. If I just press page up on here, you can see, look at that, guys. It's staying fully charged. It's not draining any of the battery because that generator is attached to our engine and working to keep us fully charged up. So we have nothing to worry about in terms of power. We have nothing to worry about in terms of heat as well. The fuel seems absolutely fine. Still over half a tank remaining, which is just fantastic. And down here, look, there is... Wait, is that a dock down there? It might actually just be a train station, you know? It could well be a train station. I can't actually remember. I mean, I have been here before, but the things... I haven't been here for a while. Oh, wow, look at this. I mean, when you just sort of take a step back, you know, zoom the camera out a bit, isn't that amazing, guys? What a sight this is. That is fantastic. And that is the mainland. Look, just over there, that is definitely the mainland. The tracks are going onto it. Okay, now let me just tell you guys about what I can see. So there is our base. That's why we're going to turn left. Okay, because that is actually our base. It's kind of like an island connected to the mainland, but it's not actually right on that mainland as far as I can remember. So I believe that is exactly where we're going. And here, just into the land a bit here, is where the first sort of train shed is. You can buy that. I think it costs about $100,000. So we might buy that eventually because it does unlock some train missions. That'd be very handy indeed. But that bridge you can see in between here and there, that is what we're going to buy, that island just over there. It's pretty big, massive airstrip, big hangar, and a dock as well. So that should unlock a good few missions for us to do in the coming episodes, guys. And I'm super excited. What I'll do is, as you know, we've got plenty of fuel here, I'll sort of just fly over the mainland, and you can see the train shed now, actually. That is quite visible. There's some trees down there, and yes, some of our missions will be based here, of course, even if we buy that island over there. It's getting very exciting now. I can't believe we've made it. Now, the dock is actually over the far side of the island. So what I'll do is I'll pass over here so we can get a good view and I can show you guys everything that's on the mainland. But then we're going to sort of curve left and go back south and land just outside the dock over there. There is the airstrip. It's now in view there. You can see it really clearly from here. This is unbelievable, guys. And I'm glad we've got our helicopter because that is going to be so useful out here, actually. Now, as you can see over here, there's a train line which goes much further north. And I forgot that was a thing. But there must be some kind of further island around there. I'm not sure exactly where it goes. But maybe it's to that small island there, if you can see that. Now, actually, there are some islands with like an oil refinery on, I think. And you can actually buy oil up here really cheap and then sell it for a lot of money down south. However, I believe there may be an issue with that in the game. And therefore, we may not be able to do it until it's been updated. I'm not sure how the game stands on that side of things. But anyway, that is an option in the game, which hopefully will be fixed in the future. But look at that, guys. We're going to buy that airstrip very shortly for $200,000. And just over there, in between these sort of rocks here, is our dock. Here we are on the mainland. Now, over there, I think that might be the oil refinery, actually, as you can see down there. Okay, there's another train shed, which I believe you might be able to buy that one. And currently, there is the one there, which you can also buy. And I think... What was that? If I just, oh, there's a lighthouse over there and a small village, maybe a fishing village or something. This is awesome, guys. I can't believe we've made it, but we certainly have. So now I'm going to think about turning or banking left a bit here. Can we see the dock? Yep, we can. There it is. That is the dock. Okay. That is the dock right there. So I do want to give us plenty of room. I'm actually going to go straight here, because I don't want to risk crashing at all. It wouldn't actually matter because we could just spawn in a boat and tow it home, you know. but the water will be very cold and I don't want to die. Not now, please not now. Here is the refinery, you can just about see that below us there. That is fantastic. And there's that small island just coming into view properly there. So I don't think you can buy that one, but it must have a use. Maybe for a mission or something, I can't remember. But now we're going to start banking round, guys. And also, I'm going to go a bit lower as well. How high are we? Okay, let's go to about 300 meters. We give ourselves plenty of room here. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to put any diesel back in the tank because it's actually full, isn't it? If we buy it, it's probably 100% full. But that's alright because we don't have that much. It's not really worth that much in the plane. You know, I'll have a look to see how much we've got now. But it's $1 per litre. So, look, $451 that's going to cost to lose that. It's nothing really. And here we go. Wait a minute. Where is it? Where's the dock? I can't see it. Oh, there it is. It's just here. Okay. Right. Right, down we go then. Going to drop off a bit of throttle as well. Oh, we're only on 30% now. You can land in the water like this. Okay, I'm going to have to come down a bit harder here. And it's a little bit choppy as well, guys. Oh, come on, please. Please don't crash. We want to make it on the first attempt. Come on. Flatten out, flatten out. This is close. No! Oh, dear. Yes! Okay. Bit of throttle. Keep it going. Keep it out the water. Guys, it was a bit of a rough landing, I have to say. But you know what? We've done it. Oh, no, wait. What's happening? Okay, it's a bit choppy. Oh, hang on. Something bad is going on, guys. Come on, mate. Get us in the waves. That's what's happening. The waves are so big, they're actually flying over the air intake for the engine. I think we've got to make a run for it, guys. I don't think we're going to get there. In the plane, this is not good. Okay. Come on, a bit more throttle. Come on. Is she going to run? Come on. She's running. She's running. Oh, it's going to stop again in the water. Okay, I'm going to have to swim for it. We can rescue the plane, guys. Don't worry about that. Let's put the diving gear on. Actually, no, that's a bad idea. Let's put our Arctic gear on and swim for it. Let's go. There's a ladder right here. Oh, no. But we're going to make it. We're going to make it. We might get a bit cold. Because even with this Arctic gear, you can still get cold in it. It just, you know, sort of reduces your chance of freezing to death. But here is a ladder. That's so handy. And that's the hangar where we're about to go to in just a second. Oh my goodness, guys. That was close. I mean, I thought we might actually, you know... I thought we might have not survived that. Now, don't worry. We can rescue the plane, of course. We'll get a boat out, perhaps in the next episode, and go and save it. And as you can see, there's no billboard here to buy the island. And that is because we buy it over there, okay? And just over there, guys, you can see there's a building right next to the hangar. And actually, that's got some heaters in it. So we've got infinite heating power over here. That is not a problem at all. Now, sometimes, there they are, look. There's seals on the rocks, guys. Yeah, you often get seals in that exact location. So if you do come here, guys, you want to see a seal, just go down there behind the hangar. And sometimes these seals sort of... they do some dodgy things. Let me just put it that way. They do some dodgy things. So, you know, check out that. We might see that in the future. But let's run over here to the hangar and the building and get inside. Get nice and warm. And as you can see, I am wearing my Arctic gear there. I can't believe it. We're on the runway. This is incredible. It's often a bit choppy here, actually. Not always, but you often get quite rough seas here. Now, let's go. There's the billboard, right? I'm hoping it is 200,000 as I remember it to be. And this is a massive hangar which we're about to buy. There we go. $200,000. But we do have enough. Let's get it done. There we go. And we're going to have 49,751 remaining after the purchase. And it's ours, guys. We have it at last. I can't believe this. I know I keep saying that. But how do we get this thing open? Maybe we have to go inside. Yep, let's just go around the corner here. and if we're lucky enough, we can open it from inside. Okay, here it is. This is enormous. We can access the workbench now. We can spawn in our helicopter or any other aircraft we want to spawn in here. But I think there must be some kind of control. Was it the one here? Just put my flashlight on. Doors. There we are, look. The doors and the lights. Let's put the lights on. Oh, that's amazing. That is glorious. We have defeated the epic Arctic passage. We are now here and safe. Apart from the plane, but don't worry, as I say, we will recover that. Probably in the next episode. Let's get inside. Let's get warm. And we might have a crate here, guys, if we're lucky. You might have a crate here. Nothing in this room. Let's go around the corner. There's probably beds in here as well, right? Yeah. Oh, no crates. That doesn't mean there aren't any crates around in this area. And there's the plane. Look, we can see it out the window here every time we wake up in the morning. But, so there's the dock. There's the oil refinery. And, guys, we've made it at last. And there is me looking very different all of a sudden in my Arctic clothing. But we are here, we are alive, and I can't wait for the next episodes where we're going to dig into the missions here, go exploring, find some animals, find some wildlife, and see what sort of trouble we can get ourselves into. But guys, it is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait for the next ones. Take care, and hopefully see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.